Alright, hello and welcome to a video on Fall Guys. Now if you haven't heard of Fall Guys, then where the hell have you been? Everyone and their nan is playing this game and I'm fast becoming very addicted because it's such a fun and enjoyable game. So today I thought I'd rank all the current mini games from Season 1 from worst to best. Now these are my own personal opinions. Other people who enjoy some games more than others. It's not generally the hardest ones are the worst and the easiest ones are the best. If it's too easy, then it's going lower down. There are some problems with some mini games that others might not mind, but let me know your opinions in the comments. But we will start right at the bottom, number 25. So, at the bottom of my ranking is Hoops-a-Daisy. I feel like a lot of people actually like this one, but unfortunately for me it's always been right at the bottom. Half the time I spend just running around like a headless chicken just trying to find any hoops, and then none spawn anywhere near me, and then when I stand still, I still can't find any hoops. Maybe I am just awful at this game, but I always end up on the losing side, maybe about 90% of the time. I don't know what it is with this one game, but it just isn't for me. Now then, Perfect Match. It's okay, but just very boring. There isn't really an exciting round of Perfect Match. It's usually just 2 or 3 people go out, and half the time I just end up following what everyone else does, because I just can't be bothered to even look at the boards. You don't really need much skill for this. It's fine, and usually an easy win, as long as some naughty numpty doesn't go around trying to shove everyone off. This one is so bad, they should call it Fail Ball. Okay, I let myself out. This is basically Rocket League with no cars, which is basically football, only the balls are ginormous. Now I like football, but these matches do tend to drag on. And there always seems to be a bit of a lag issue where you sometimes just morph right through the ball instead of hitting it. But my main problem with this game is it comes up far too often with uneven teams. It just seems really unfair to play 5v4 or 6v5, as the team with less players are more than likely going to easily lose. Egg Scramble does have potential to be really fun. However, it does have one major flaw that does make it quite hard to enjoy this game. Basically, after the first 10 seconds, once all the eggs are gone in the middle, it's already pretty obvious which team is going to win, which team is going to lose. Because always the 2 strongest teams will telepathically pick on the weakest team, constantly taking their eggs. So it just ends up being a miserable experience. I do occasionally have a fun game of Egg Scramble, but they are far and few between. Now then, I don't mind the tail games in this game, despite some lag issues where people can literally grab your tail all the way from Narnia, but for whatever reason, this final just ends up being really dull. I feel like it should be a smaller arena and that should be who holds the tail the longest, and it should spawn in the middle of the map. Otherwise, you just get a really long game of kiss chase, and I can't ever kiss anyone. Why does no one want to kiss me? Oh, it's because I'm ugly, isn't it? Oh, no. Another team game. Yep, I am one of those people that just don't really like the team games in this game. This one is fine though, because it can turn around at any time. I find this one is much better with a party, since you can all communicate together and defend your area. Now then, a game where you grab tails from Jellybean's bottoms. If that isn't some sexual harassment, I don't know what is. Either way, tail tag is, again, it's okay. I know people don't like this one, and again, for me, the main reason is the arena it's played in. The camera will often get stuck, and quite often the moment you steal a tail, someone else will come and steal it right away. I do tend to win on this one more often than I lose, which is maybe why it's ranked higher than others would put it. If I'd made this list after my first experience, this one would be right at the bottom. However, it has started to grow on me. It has its flaws though. Most games it seems to be an absolute mosh pit of pushing and shoving, you know, rather than actually trying to find the path. Usually bravery is not rewarded in this one. Generally staying in the pack, near the middle, not quite trying to find the path, but also not getting pushed off is what will get you the win. Also, who else fell down the gap right at the end on their first attempt? And their second attempt, then third, then fourth, then fifth. So then, Fruit Shoot, a game named after a drink here in the UK. Well, actually, probably not. That's just a lie I made up. Which is why I should be on Would I Lie to You with Lee Mack, David Mitchell and Bryn from Gavin and Stacey. Anyway, yes, Fall Guys. This game is relatively simple. You have a giant treadmill and the game fires giant fruit at you. It's basically an obese man's worst nightmare. It would be ranked higher if there was more to it. Generally, if you get hit and knocked off at the start, it can be already game over. Everyone else has worked out the sides are much safer. It's fun though, so long as you enjoy getting a banana fired at your face at 100 miles per hour. So you've passed all the other challenges, and it's time for Full Mountain, the most epic race in the game. Oh wait, is that number 17? Well, despite having almost all my wins in this game, it's just really anticlimactic. It's over all too quickly. Just like when I make love. Usually you just get hit by balls in the face. Just like me when I make love. I just feel like it should be much bigger. Just like me. Well, you get the point. I wasn't quite sure where to put Jinxed, so I felt near the middle is good. It's basically a huge game of tag. Once you're tagged though, you have to try and tag as many of the opposition as possible. I find this game way more fun when you're actually Jinxed, since I am much better at catching people than I am at running away. When I first played this one, I really did enjoy it, but the more I play Hit Parade, I do notice some problems. For example, the first section is almost entirely pointless. In fact, I never actually try to go on the balance beams anymore. I just swan dive straight down, and 9 times out of 10, I'm in the leading pack. There's only really one obstacle in this race, which is the dangling swinging balls. Since the final climb, you can either go straight to left or straight to right, and there's no barriers, you go straight up. I do like this race, but I just feel like there isn't much skill needed. Now then, this is a proper team game, all about teamwork, which some players don't seem to get. You need to push your ball into the goal before the other two teams, and it doesn't help when half the team just seem to run off and try and sabotage the others. Also, I found a good tactic for this one. You want to hear my tactic? Don't be on yellow team. From experience, they lose 9 times out of 10. Since you can easily block their ball up against the wall. So yeah, don't be on yellow. They are the colours of Norwich City in the end, and nobody wants that. Ho-ho! Classic football banter! Now then, roll out. I'm always very happy to see this one come up. It's pretty simple. There are 4 drums spinning. You have to try and stay on while avoiding going down the gaps. Some games do go on quite a long time, but it makes it very tense, since you're just hoping someone drops down into the strawberry milkshake below. Not much else to add on this one. I don't think anyone dislikes this one. It's just a solid fun game. So then, straight out of Takeshi's Castle, this one is always chaos. It's DoorDash. Some of the doors are breakable and some will break your skull. No matter what, this one is always very close, if you can make it through or not, since you can easily end up getting trampled, just like it's a Black Friday sale and Karen wants her third 60-inch TV. Into the top 10 now with Block Party. It's the only party I'm ever invited to. I mean, in fairness, it's 2020. People should not be having parties. And if you're watching this in the future, then I hope the future's nice. Maybe all the humans have been wiped out and all the animals can live in peace. But anyway, back to the game. This one is pretty laid back and nice and relaxing, which is why I enjoy it. Occasionally you have to move left, occasionally you have to move right, and maybe do the odd jump. Until the last 10 seconds, that is, where it becomes absolutely manic, panic, bodies start flying everywhere, you're getting stuck on people, and you just hope to try and stay in. So yeah, overall, 10 out of 10 would get knocked off again. So then, the highest ranking team game in the list. I just really like this one compared to the other team games. The arena is nice and compact, there's lots of obstacles to try and avoid, and plenty of tactics you can use. Although one tactic I don't quite understand is stealing tails from your own teammates. You realise you don't actually get an extra point for doing that, right? It is also the only game to include the green team. Maybe in Season 2 there'll be more 4-player games? I'm thinking maybe a giant pool table and you have to try and roll as many balls into your pocket as possible. I have so many ideas for games, so you know, Fall Guys team, if you're watching, let me know. Maybe give me a ring, yeah? Phone me up? No? You're just going to say my games are shit? Oh, okay, fine, they probably are. They didn't want you to phone me anyway. I feel like this is most people's favourite final game, and I do enjoy it. It has really grown on me quite a lot. When I first played it, I was just falling all the way down right away and out. But I'm slowly starting to master the small jumps. The more I play it, the more I really enjoy this one, especially compared to Full Mountain. So, this was actually the first level I played on the game, and what a strong start as an introduction into the game. This one is all about timing, and the more you play it, the more you start to work out the timings of the gates. Well, most people do. I still find myself occasionally face planting straight into a wall. This is really fun and neat little race. The final jump is always really exciting as you start to see the gate rise back up. You get a little bit nervous, but you just make it over the line. Awooga, awooga, this is your controversial warning, awooga. I'm about to have a controversial opinion. Are you ready? I actually really like Seesaw.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
I know, right? People seem to really hate this one, but I actually really do enjoy this. And yes, it can be frustrating when you get stuck in the pack, but once you start jumping and diving and weighing up your options and taking your time, it's a pretty simple race. Although seesaws were not really my favourite thing in the park, I was much more of a swings fan. Maybe there'd be a swinging race. Wait, no, not that type of swinging, no, no, no. Jump Club is just really good fun. It reminds me of a game we used to play at our local youth club, where they'd swing around a bottle of water tied on the end of a rope and you'd have to try and jump over it as it swing around getting faster and faster. Nowadays, health and safety would probably shut that down right away. And come to think of it, maybe they would have a point, because it was actually quite dangerous. But enough about my life. Jump Club is just like total wipeout. Just avoid jumping when the pink beam is directly above the green one and you should be okay. I'm also putting Jump Showdown at 4, although currently it is not available in the game, due to people finding an exploit where they could hang off the edge forever. Hopefully they can fix that and put it back in the game, since it was my favourite final and I did only get to play it 2 times. We're now into the dizzy heights of the top 3 and it's pretty clear I do like the racing levels. Dizzy Heights is just really solid, good fun with plenty of different obstacles to mix it up. It does take quite a while to master them all though. The only thing I don't like is the beginner's trap, where there's a gap you can't see just before the triple steps at the end. I feel like everyone has fallen down that gap at least once, and especially on your first attempt. Whenever it comes up now though, I always know it's going to be a nice, fun race. Just missed out on my top spot is Whirligig, one of the longer races in the game with a deadly shortcut, which can fling you halfway to hell. One of the best parts about this race is it's not one mistake and you're out. Since people are getting knocked off all over the place, it allows you a second, third, fourth or even fifth chance to still qualify. I would like more races to have multiple paths, with some riskier shortcut paths being faster, but maybe if you fall off you're straight away eliminated. But who knows what they will add in future seasons. My favourite has to be Slime Climb. It's the ultimate race, and the races are my favourite genre after all. All the other levels are pretty straightforward, and then the devs added this one in. It's an absolutely huge difficulty curve. Every time I take on Slime Climb, it's intense, panic, but in a good way, since if you fall off you're eliminated, or if you wait too long the slime will swallow you up. The race has everything from pushing platforms, a shortcut that I rarely use, balance beams, swinging balls, and those weird stacks of what I think look like donuts on a stick. I have no idea what they are. Answers in the comments please. If you make it to the top of Slime Climb you feel like an absolute god, as generally it does knock out about 75% of players. But there we go, that was my ranking for every minigame in Fall Guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your favourites and what you agree or disagree with in the comments. But for now, take care and leave me alone.